on our respected dignitaries.
Renowned journalist and author Bertil Lintner lecture Chinese shadow in Myanmar and North India have a lecture Mangsiman Press Club the All Manipur Working Journalist Union Amzogi 1 year long celebration Golden Jubilee Haitare Sigmay Lena Siman Press Club Pangthokpa lecture sida Maliam Daming Leraba journalist amsung author Bertil Lintner ngasi undoshi. What is your purpose of visiting North India, especially in Manipur?
Well, it's to explain the geopolitics of the country next door, because you are, of course, much more familiar than I am on the internal domestic politics of Manipur. But I think it's important to look at it in a broader perspective. Outside actors, why is this kind of chaos and turmoil in Myanmar? And of course, the most important factor or actor there is the big neighbor in the north, China.
Do you think the conflict happening in Manipur is kind of related somewhat to the situation right now happening in Myanmar?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, as I always say, when your neighbor's house is on fire, you feel the heat. And that's what you're feeling here now. These are the after effects of the coup in 2021. And the problems are definitely spilling across the border into Manipur.
In what ways this kind of relation, this kind of aggression is happening in North India regarding the situation happening in Myanmar? Well,
I'm not going to comment on the domestic politics of northeastern India. That's not why I'm here. Just to say that, of course, if there's trouble next door, you feel it, and you will feel the effects of the conflict there as well as here. You've got an influx of various people, guns, drugs. So it's affecting you in a number of ways.
You have studied regarding the North India also. So how far do you see the conflict right now happening in Manipur? What's your opinion in this? How can peace can be restored in this state?
Well, if I could answer that question, I think I would be an international hero. The situation in Manipur is extremely complicated, as you know. It's a fairly small state with many different ethnic groups, different interests pulling the state apart. And, well, the only way forward would be some kind of understanding, some kind of dialogue or whatever, because I don't think armed conflict is the answer. But on the other hand, how do you get all these people to sit down and talk to each other? It's not going to be easy.
Do you think it's the government's failures, or what do you think on that?
Oh, that I can't really comment on that issue, because I mean, I don't know enough about it. What I'm talking about here, we're going to talk about here today, are the conflicts on the other side of the border.
So how many days are you going to stay here in Manipur?
Plan? I'm leaving for Calcutta on Friday.
Okay. Before leaving here in Manipur, what's your plan? What's your schedule here in Manipur?
Well, I'll be here today at the press club, and tomorrow we're just going out on a little tour outside Imphal to see what's happening there. And as I said, this is my 5th visit to Manipur, so I can claim I'm a bit familiar with the state and so on, and it's always nice to be here again and to see a bit more than Imphal.
The situation happening in Myanmar, this issue is a kind of military issue. So what, in your opinion, how can we resolve this issue in Myanmar?
Again, if I could answer that question, I would probably get Nobel's Peace Prize, you know. It's a conflict that's been going on for 70 years. There are no easy answers, there's no easy solutions. But somehow it has to reduce the level of violence, the level of fighting, because it's affecting people all over the country. And it's a country basically going to pieces. And that's very sad to witness for me, because I've been associated with Myanmar for more than 40 years.
Thank you. What do you appeal on message to the people of Manipur to resolve this crisis in the state?
Well, I don't think you can solve it, but maybe you can get a better understanding of what's happening next door and why it's happening. That's very important. That's always the starting point if you want to move forward and look for solutions.
Bertil Lintner phongtolamba asi Manipur da leiba crisis asi result togodana te Manipur ga thangna leiba yumthangna leibak ta kari thokli haiba asi ekoi masen wakhal taminaba understanding leminaba matunu da Manipur da peace porokani haiba maduni loinana Manipur da hojik leiba issue amasung Myanmar da leiba issue si matang da di political oibana mahaki oiba honest opinion phongtolmu yade tabu khoi thangna leiba leibak Myanmar singba da mai chak labni na ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯪꯅꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯃ꯭ꯌꯥꯟꯃꯥꯔ ꯊꯪꯅꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗꯁꯨ ꯏꯐꯦꯛ ꯐꯪꯕ ꯇꯥꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯩꯁꯥ ꯂꯥꯡꯕ ꯇꯥꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯅ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯛꯂꯝꯃꯤ ꯄꯥꯎꯗꯝꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯀꯦꯃꯦꯔꯥ ꯄꯔꯁꯟ ꯑꯦꯜ ꯁꯨꯕꯥꯁ ꯁꯔꯃꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯂꯥꯜ ꯄꯥꯜꯍꯨꯡ ꯏꯝꯄꯦꯛ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯁ ꯏꯝꯐꯥꯜ
Premier